Welcome to Football Talk. In this episode, we will discuss the mighty Arsenal. Last season, Arteta's team finished the Premier League in second place. They were, at some points of the season, the best team in England. However, they were unable to lift a trophy. So, what happened to Arsenal? And will it happen again this season? This year, Arteta's project looks like it could be hitting its first peak. The squad finally has some depth, and the players have reached a level of maturity they didn't have in previous years. Arteta has also turned this team into a very organized and effective unit, with Gabriel and Saliba as the pillars of the defensive line, adding new talent and depth with every season. Talented players like Jurrien Timber, who signed last season for Arsenal. Unfortunately, he got injured and missed pretty much the entire season. He can almost be counted as a new signing, who has already shown his qualities and abilities. Timber is an impressive physical and technical player with intelligence to understand how to occupy wide spaces, as well as more central spaces to offer himself as a passing option during play building. Arteta has played him in all the defensive positions, left back, centre back, and as a right back, providing squad depth and an additional option for tactical changes. But just because Arteta got back the defender he signed last season, it didn't mean he wouldn't fancy a new one. And so it was that Arsenal went after Italian international Riccardo Cagliafiori. He joins Arsenal from Bologna for 45 million euros. Cagliafiori had a good Euros this summer. He's a technical player, good with the ball at his feet, but he lacks some awareness. This is something he will have to improve as the season progresses. He's playing in the left back position. Arsenal also added to their squad a style of midfielder they were missing. Spanish European champion Mikel Merino from Real Sociedad. He signs for Arsenal for 32 million euros. Merino is a player who can provide you with ball control in different phases of the game, which allows you to control the ball when the opponent uses a high pressure on the pitch. Something Arsenal was missing, especially in games where they took the lead but were not able to play through the opponent's pressure. They needed to find a player who could keep the ball and distribute it back and forth until the space was generated. Instead, Arsenal would lose possession and concede, like against Bayern Munich, where they were up but made mistakes when they were not able to settle the ball and find the pass. Merino is that player that can hold the ball, find a quick pass to relieve pressure, get it back, and find that open player inside or put the ball behind the opponent's defense where one of your wide players could make a run. Unfortunately, Merino got injured almost as soon as he arrived at Arsenal, and we will have to wait to see him in action. Arsenal also completed the permanent transfer of David Raya. The Spanish goalkeeper was on loan last season at Arsenal. Arteta wanted a different profile of goalkeeper, one that can help the team get the ball out of the back by becoming a reliable passing option, and David Raya fit the profile. Raya was transferred from Brentford for 32 million euros. Arsenal also made what you would call a surprise last-minute transfer. Sterling, who has played for 4 of the so-called Big Six Premier League clubs, joins Arsenal on loan from Chelsea. Although Sterling hasn't been his best in the recent years, he remains a quality player and will bring experience to a relatively young squad. When you add him to the talent already available, you find a real contender to this year's Premier League title. It will all depend on whether these players step up and seize the moment. They have shown they can play the champions at their own ground and keep them against the ropes. If Arteta's Arsenal can stay away from injuries for most of the season, then I can almost guarantee they will be competing for the Premier League until the last day of the season. Thank you for listening to another episode of Football Talk. This has been the first Arsenal review of the season. This is Rolo saying goodbye.